Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. This is Henry, producer Henry, called this splashes, superlatives. I'm all for it. I love the idea. So I am combining all three of my weekly recaps: quarterback power rankings, team of the week, team power rankings, all in one, and maybe a little bit of a Thursday night preview later tonight. So before we hop in, make sure you guys like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want, send us a super chat. Henry will pop it up, and I'll get back to questions when I finish each section. So without further ado, let's get into QB 32. That is Mr. Justin Fields. Let me take down the banner because it's blocking where he was last week. There we go. He was number 29 last week. He's 32 this week, and we're going to try to move through these pretty quickly. It wasn't all Fields' fault. Matt Nagy called one of the worst game plans I've ever seen. And I said this on the app. Justin Fields plus Chicago's offensive line is a match made from hell. This is the worst possible matchup. Even there are worse offensive lines. There are worse quarterbacks. But matching up Fields, who is deliberate in his processing, and an offensive line that gets beat so routinely quickly, not good. So this is more of a Matt Nagy ranking than a Justin Fields ranking. I will be honest there. So Fields will move up at some point, but he was atrocious. Davis Mills, this was the most boring game plan I've ever seen in my life. If I had $1 for every halfback mid-draw, exactly the same play from Madden, halfback mid-draw, I could have bought the Houston Texans. Holy Christmas. This was such a boring offense. It's Brandon Cooks and not a whole lot else. Davis Mills was very boring. He did some cool things when he wasn't pressured, but Carolina was getting a lot of pressure. So there's that. He's what do you want? Number 30, Trevor Lawrence. 9 turnover-worthy plays in 3 weeks. That's not good. 3 every week. A sub 50 PFF grade. Look, I know people don't like PFF, but he's been bad. Lawrence has been bad. There has been some flashes. He had one amazing throw, corner of the end zone, DJ Chark. It actually, ironically, very close to what Rodgers did to MVS against the Niners, but perfect throw there. I think that was his big-time throw. But there's too many mental errors, and pump the brakes on the hate. Eventually, he's going to be good, but as of right now, not very good. Same thing with Zach Wilson. You see the 7 interceptions. You see the 51 rating. I do want to point out that no team since the 1998 Chargers has finished with a lower passer rating than that, 51.8 or 51.6, sorry. It's a mess. It's going to get better, Jets fans. You're not going to play top 5 defense every single week. Moving on, 28, Taylor Heineke. Somehow signed with Bud Light, not Heineken. Big L to Heineken. It wasn't pretty against Buffalo, and Buffalo is not like the best defense by any means. 3 turnover-worthy plays, no big-time throws. A lot of that production, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns. About half of the yardage in one of the touchdowns came on an Antonio Gibson screen that went like 78 yards. So he's okay. He has some of that. He has some magic in him, but he's going to have some strong week-to-week volatility. We have Ben Roethlisberger next. It's just bad. It is just atrocious. More turnover-worthy plays than big-time throws. He can't move. He can't really push the ball down the field. And notice 58 pass attempts. Pittsburgh, what are you doing? You just drafted a running back in the first round. Why aren't you using it? Actually, they are using him. I think Najee Harris was targeted 19 times in this game. Absolutely ridiculous. I have no idea what Pittsburgh's doing. Number 26, Carson Wentz. I shouldn't have taken him out last week. I didn't think he was going to start. He did start, but I don't want to talk about Wentz. I want to talk about Indianapolis. Why are you playing Wentz? You were going to lose that game more than likely, right? Why? What's the point of starting Wentz? Because if you start Wentz and you lose that game like they did, you're going to have to give your pick to the Eagles, right? It's, I think, a 75% cutoff if the Colts miss the playoffs, which they're looking like they will. If they miss the playoffs and Wentz plays 75% of the games, your first-round pick goes to Philly. Your top 20 pick, top 18 pick goes to Philly. Why are you playing Wentz? Just if you're going to have a game plan like you did, where he didn't do anything, he hasn't had a turnover-worthy play yet. If you have a game like that, why are you putting Wentz in? Eason can do that. Not Jacoby Brissett. Brett Hundley can do that. why bother putting Wentz in? If you're going to, I don't know, if you're within that range of like 70 to 80% of snaps played, this could have been a huge difference. Is he healthy? Sure. But I wouldn't have risked it. He wasn't like bad. He was just like, okay. But I think Eason could have done that with the same game plan. I think Hundley could have done that with the same game plan. I don't know what Indianapolis is doing there. 25, Jalen Hurts. Man, I really want to like Jalen Hurts. I do like Jalen Hurts, but there were some issues against Dallas, and Dallas has improved defensively a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know, man. It's weird. Philly's weird. Hurts is weird. I didn't love what I saw Monday night. There were some good throws here and there. He had that one awesome drive. He hit Ertz and hit Goddard a couple times. It was nice, but he had some bad. He had a telegraphed interception, the pick six to Trayvon Diggs, who I'll talk about later. But I don't know. It's been a mixed bag so far for Hurts. He killed in Atlanta, but Atlanta is a terrible defense. Moving on, Jimmy Garoppolo. Notice he doesn't have a big-time throw. This is an NFL quarterback that has thrown about 100 passes, if not more. He has 0 big-time throws. Turnover-worthy plays, I can live with. There are guys in my top 10 that have more turnover-worthy plays. I think one of them does. But Garoppolo is just getting – everything is schemed for Garoppolo. And I get why you might want to start Garoppolo over Lance, San Francisco. I get it. But I don't know. There's value in what Garoppolo brings in just like a floor, but he hasn't been great. He's just like an average quarterback. Matt Ryan has been a train wreck, an absolute unadulterated train wreck. I don't look at the stats in the bottom left. They're totally misleading. A 111 pass rating when he was awful for 4 quarters. Arthur Smith, what are you doing? Matt Ryan has been like Ben Roethlisberger light, essentially. Roethlisberger's been like the epitome of trash. Matt Ryan has been ugh. Jameis Winston, it's just been weird. New Orleans is a great defense, so they're going to win some games, but it's not because of Jameis. Even week 1.
Flash, I just got off a podcast. I'm here to destroy your Jameis Winston breakdown right here. Oh, are you really putting this guy up here?
I mean, he's a starting quarterback. Where would you put him?
31st, bro.
What, okay. Who would be 32 then?
Probably Justin Fields.
Okay. Yeah, Fields was terrible. I don't know. See, here's my thing with quarterbacks.
No, Winston's probably like 25 range-ish.
Yeah. My thing with quarterbacks is they come in clumps, and it's really hard. Am I 100% sure he's better than Matt Ryan? No. Am I 100% sure he's worse than Jacoby Brissett? No. But I have to rank them 1 to 32, and it's just how I feel. So Winston hasn't been great, but he's not turning the ball over as much as the guys below, and he hasn't been a catastrophe like Matt Ryan and Ben Roethlisberger. So I spoiled 21. That's Jacoby Brissett. Again, not a great quarterback. I'm thinking if Miami runs the Jacoby Brissett offense with Tua Tagovailoa, it'll be good. But when you're running it with Jacoby Brissett, what are you doing? So the Tua offense is kind of very RPO heavy, and it's kind of like what Philly does with Hurts, and Hurts and Tua aren't the same quarterback. I just don't understand. Miami, get your head out of the gutter, please.
Miami needs to trade for Deshaun Watson right now.
Ooh, that'd be fascinating.
And I heard from someone, and I'll get off the show because I just bombarded your show. I'm sorry about this.
You're good.
Deshaun Watson, we have a little bit of an in, and Deshaun Watson does not want to play for the Philadelphia Eagles. So there was actually a trade offer on the table for him to go to the Eagles, which he turned down. Deshaun is interested in playing in Miami and the New York Jets, but we're with the Zach Wilson band here. So that's not going to happen. But yeah, Deshaun Watson is not interested in going to Philly, but is interested in going to the Dolphins for sure. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. The only reservation I would have with the midseason trade is that it's kind of like the Sam Bradford year when he went to Minnesota. You can't start him immediately because he doesn't know the playbook. like you need to have a baseline knowledge to function as an NFL quarterback. And as good as Deshaun Watson is, I don't think he can pick up a new playbook in let's say, for the sake of argument, he gets traded after Miami plays Baltimore on Thursday Night Football. He gets traded that Friday, and he has 10 days to learn the playbook. I don't think he's starting the next week. Like, you have to learn your teammates. That's the only issue that I have with Miami trading for him. And I do like Tua.
Well, he might he could even get suspended. So
that's true.
He has a looming suspension. But I think what's happening is sort of like the sort of what baseball did with the Andy Pettis of the world. They're actually allowing they're letting Deshaun Watson sit the Texans, basically saying, like, we'll suspend him for you. Like, we won't play him. So, like, if the Texans were going to come out and roll out Deshaun week 1, he may have faced a 6 to 8 game suspension. The Texans are like, we're just going to sit him for 6 to 7 games. We might want to bring him back and activate him. You all suspend him for 1 or 2, and we can kind of get out of this quietly. Gotcha. But that is actually happening. Like, they're kind of like being proactive in terms of sitting Deshaun.
Right. For sure. Yeah, it's a sticky subject, because Houston would be better with Deshaun, of course, but Deshaun doesn't want to play for Houston. So,
yeah.
Who knows? So, yeah.
It's criminal, man. I feel, what he did was, I guess, criminal in a sense as well, but the guy's like, so he's got to move on with his life. This guy's like depressed. I'm sure the women that had to deal with this are depressed as well about the situation. I think at this point we have to just, as a society, talk about it. I wish Deshaun would have had a press conference, admit to it, admit what happened. Say, I was going to get massages and I took my pants down and wanted the girl to jerk me off or something. I don't freaking know. Let's just have an honest talk. Andy Pettit did it when he was on HGH. He said, hey, I took HGH. I know I did. I apologize. I cheated. Can we move on from this? The world's everything today is about hiding and hiding and hiding. And we're all not perfect. And I think the more that we hide, and it's to the Texans' fault too. The Texans should go out there and say, listen, Deshaun, instead of it being you versus us, we're with you on this. In terms of your work, can we set up a press conference and get this all laid out on the table? Right. I mean, it's got to be a joint effort. It's just, it's ridiculous. You make a mistake, you make a mistake.
Yeah,
he didn't kill anybody. No one. He didn't abduct a child. He didn't steal money from people. Like, yeah, he did a terrible thing. I agree, but at some point, can we just have a conversation, get everything laid out from both ends, and just move on? But I guess the world we live in today, it happens across a multitude of sectors. Nobody tells the truth. It goes from politics to social life to sports. Nobody tells the truth, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, if Watson is cleared or can come back and play football, I love watching him play. So there's that. But at the end of the day, there are some ramifications for his actions. So whatever those ramifications may be, serve a sentence and, play football again one day, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. All right, Splash. I'm going to be toast. I just did a Time to BS podcast recording with Dan. It was actually a really interesting podcast. I am nice. I was surprised that Dan came out fire and he was asking me all sorts of questions. So
yeah, he's great.
And Henry, I know you're in the production room. We'll talk about getting timeout and everything back up and running. I'm going to start getting the live stuff rolling again. We've been a little bit in shambles in terms of getting that back, but we'll figure it out, brother.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for coming on with some breaking news. Always a pleasure to have you on and to
Splash,
talk
you're the go. Yes, I literally. It's funny. I actually popped in when I saw Winston up, and I'm like, is Splash really having a Jameis Winston show here? Oh my God. It was like when we were doing the NBA free agency, you kept talking about Wayne Ellington. I'm like, you want to have a Wayne Ellington show? I mean, like you would have a show, Wayne and Winston, you should call it. You would love that. Yeah. You would be all in that show.
Yeah, that's too funny. Yeah, I'm just rolling through some quarterback rankings before Thursday night.
All right, brother. I'm out of here. And
All right.
Joe Mixon first touchdown tonight. Y'all betters out there. Joe Mixon.
Okay. Frankie called
31.
it. Joe Mixon first touchdown tonight. What's the odds on that?
31.
I don't know. Plus 250?
Yeah, probably not that great. He's probably like one of the favorites, but hey.
Yeah. And maybe Joe Burrow. You did hit on a couple quarterbacks last year. You had that ridiculous Sam Darnold run against Denver. I think you had Wentz in a game.
I had Sam Darnold for first touchdowns. I had Sam Darnold for first touchdown for $25 at like I think plus 2,800. I won $2,000 or something. Then I had 2 nights later on Sunday Night Football, I think because it was Thursday and Sunday. Then on Sunday, I did the same bet with Wentz, and I won another 2,000. So I basically won $4,000 in 3 days just off these first touchdown quarterback bets. And I told my friend to make it the other night, and he won. He did the Daniel Jones first touchdown. And I had it linked on my freaking site, and I just got distracted with some work chat. I was talking to Javier, and I just like the game started, and I was like, oh, yep.
Tough. Yep. You hate to see that. And, of course, I can't really do that with Lamar Jackson. I am wearing the shirt.
Oh, let's go. That shit's sick. I haven't seen someone wear it yet.
Yeah, I was gonna do it when I got to Lamar in the quarterback section.
And dude, that shit is dope. You have to take a picture. We got to throw it on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Dude, that shirt's sick.
Yeah, I love it.
I actually like that shirt better than the Zach Wilson. The Wilson one's a little bit big.
Like I haven't seen the Wilson one in person, so
it's a little bit, the print's a bit big, but that's pretty sick.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
All right, brother. Good luck, Henry. You're the best.
Peace.
Talk to you guys soon later.
Yeah, thank you. So that was Frankie. Let's jump back into the quarterbacks. We have Jared Goff at number 20. He was fine against Baltimore. Nothing too crazy. Just at a certain point, Detroit just started spamming DeAndre Swift late in the game. So that's why the game ended up 19-17. I'll talk about it later. But Goff is a solid quarterback. Nothing more to say. Mac Jones is weird. Yes. 3 interceptions. One of them was a tipped pick 6. Jonnu Smith had it in his hands and then decided, I don't feel like catching. Here, Malcolm Jenkins. Here's a free touchdown. So he was better than the stats, but he wasn't like great or anything. So Jones has been kind of like consistent, kind of like okay, kind of conservative, like a Davis Mills is like the Walmart version of Mac Jones so far. I don't know. It's been whatever. Sam Darnold has been impressive. 18. He's moving up. He was 32 to start the season. My only issue is the fumbles. Clean up the fumbles, and you might see Darnold in the top 15, which is scary. But he's been good. I have nothing to complain about besides the fumbles. He lost the one fumble, but against Houston, 2 strip sacks. You gotta figure out the pocket presence. Speaking of pocket presence, Daniel Jones has done a good job of figuring out the fumbles. He's not getting strip sacked as often. It happens from time to time, yes, but he's generally been good, and he's not the reason the Giants are 0-3, which is, as a Giants onlooker here, it sucks because you're not winning with Jones, but Jones isn't the problem. So you can roll it out next year and say, yeah, Daniel Jones wasn't the reason why we're losing. And that's not a great spot to be in. Number 16, Teddy Bridgewater. Jones and Bridgewater just swap places. Bridgewater's been good. He's not turning the ball over. He's been efficient. He's, pushing the ball down the field to some degree. He has lost a couple of his weapons. KJ Hamler's out for the year. Jerry Jeudy's out for a long time. But he's been good. He's been solid. He's been better than I think Drew Lock would have been. Although I think with this offense and with the slate of defenses early on, Drew Lock could have been okay. But, Bridgewater has been a good NFL quarterback so far. And now this is the cutoff. Above Bridgewater, we have Joe Burrow. We have the 15 best quarterbacks. 32 to 7 or 32 to 16, you can organize them however the heck you want because it changes every week. 15 and up, again, you can organize them however the heck you want, but it's 15 to 1. I don't think I'm going to get much pushback from this, but Joe Burrow was unreal against Pittsburgh. And when he had time to throw, in his career, when he's had time to throw, he has been clinical. He has been a great processor. He is delivering deep balls now. He has more 20-yard touchdowns, 20 air yard touchdowns. And he had all of last season. He has 3, all of them to Jamar Chase. He was unreal. I know he had an interception, one bad throw out of a whole game out of 18. Burrow was looking really good and would be higher if any of these top 14 guys had stumbled. Ryan Tannehill did not stumble. He wasn't as good as he was against Seattle. Did have 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Neither of them, I think, were particularly his fault. But it was a solid game for Tannehill. Nothing really to complain about. Even without his number 1 and number 2 receivers, AJ Brown and Julio Jones. So, what are we going to see moving forward? Who knows? Number 13, Kirk Cousins. Again, everyone in the top 15, organize it however the heck you want. I know there's guys on the app. I know there's guys out there. Yeah, Cousins is a top 10 quarterback. What are you doing, Splash? I'm not telling you he's not a top 10 quarterback. I'm just telling you he's a top 15 guy for sure. And if he's in your top 10, that's fine by me. I'm cool with it. MVP candidate, I'm cool with it. Hasn't thrown a pick yet. 118 rating overall. He's been rocking and rolling. And if the Vikings were a fumble away from winning week 1 and a 37-yard field goal away from winning week 2. The Vikings really should be 3-0. Number 12, Baker Mayfield. He's falling. Why? Because other guys are just going out there and balling. Mayfield was good against Chicago. He didn't have to do a whole lot, but did enough. 3 big-time throws, moved the ball, get it to Kareem Hunt, get it to Odell Beckham is back. I'll talk about that when I get to the power rankings. I like what I see from Baker, and he just happens to be a good quarterback in an era with 15 good quarterbacks, and a year with 15 good quarterbacks. Derek Carr, again, he's falling, not because of his play, because of other guys. 4 big-time throws. He has the most in the NFL with 13 on the season. Didn't have a turnover-worthy play this week. Did throw a pick 6, but it's more of a Landon Roberts with a great play. I'll talk about Roberts more later. Did throw an interception. It happens. He leads the NFL in passing yards for what that's worth, 1,200 yards already. He's averaging 400 yards a game. That's insane. He's been great. Number 10, Justin Herbert. Herbert was spectacular. He was the best quarterback on the field against Patrick Mahomes. That's hard to do. This is actually, I think I would say the 3rd time in a row that Mahomes has been outplayed, but that's beside the point. I'll talk about more Mahomes later. But didn't have a big time throw, didn't have a turnover-worthy play. But I'll take it with Herbert because his baseline, his average play is so good that as long as you're not turning the ball over or putting the ball in bad spots like he did last week, 4 big time throws, 3 turnover-worthy plays against Dallas, I'll take it with Herbert. 4 touchdowns, 281 yards, 125 rating. I love what I see from Herbert, and he's going to continue to rise. Number 9, Matt Stafford. Didn't have a great first quarter, and then he had Deshaun Jackson, and then the rest of the game he was ice cold. It was unreal. The PFF grade's a little deflated because he wasn't great in the first quarter, wasn't great early on. That's fine, but 343, 4 tutties, hit on the long one to Deshaun Jackson. He's what the Rams needed. He's better than Goff, and he's exactly what they needed. 9 touchdowns, 1 pick so far. Beautiful. Number 8, Josh Allen. He's back, folks. He was not great the first 2 weeks, and then, boop, he's back. Josh Allen is back. He's number 8 because, again, the 7 guys ahead of him didn't stumble. But this is where you get into the chess game that, is he better than number 7? Is he better than number 6? Is he better than number 5? Well, maybe, but I'll take him at 8 here. If you have him higher, that's cool. If you have him lower, that's cool too. 3 big-time throws, 1 turnover we play, 5 total touchdowns, over 350 yards of offense. He was great. He really terrorized Washington. He was under pressure a lot too, was firing howitzers. He had 1 beautiful throw, left corner of the end zone to Emmanuel Sanders. Sanders caught 2 touchdowns. Yeah, big props to Allen for answering. Number 7, Kyler Murray. Only 1 big-time throw, only 1 turnover-worthy play. Did have the rushing touchdown, which, before you say anything, the 61.2 rushing grade, what was he supposed to do? He was no one on Jacksonville prepared for that, it seemed like. So I don't know what Jacksonville was doing there. It's a walk-in touchdown. Kyler's not going to get a 90 grade for a walk-in touchdown. Did have a pick. Just clean it up. All you got to do, clean it up. He's had 1 turnover-worthy play in each game. Just clean it up. He'll be fine. Number 7. Number 6, we got Lamar Jackson. Ladies and gentlemen, go back. If you have Game Pass, watch Ravens-Lions. Lamar Jackson probably had the best game of his career as a passer. He's had better games maybe overall, but as a passer, he was clinical. Stats are going to show it 16-31. Well, he only completed 3% of his passes. There's 4 drops in there, 287 yards. Again, those drops come back. Those are a couple long touchdowns. Only 1 touchdown. Oh, he only had 1 touchdown. If Marquise Brown could hold on to the football, the Ravens win this game by 3 scores, and Lamar has nearly 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, maybe even 4 touchdowns. Lamar was spectacular. And yeah, it's Detroit. I get it. He's probably not going to do that against Denver, but you saw it. You saw it in the bag. When the defense fails, Marquise Brown was cooking folks. I get it with the drops, but this offense seems to have found something. And also, Lamar Jackson flip, my Lamar Jackson flip. So you can find this on the U Stadium store. Just check out the app, and boom, it's there. Dak Prescott coming in at number 5. He was good against Philly. He wasn't unreal. It's just a good performance, what the number 5 quarterback does. You know, he's not going to be elite every single week, but he's going to be good every single week. So big props to Dak. Did have a fumble in the end zone. It happens. Javon Hargrave has been fantastic this season. So it happens. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Number 4, we have Tom Brady. I think the big time throws, turnover-worthy plays, a little goofy this week because he did get strip sacked by Donald. I don't know why that wasn't called a turnover-worthy play, whatever, but per PFF, 12 big time throws, 0 turnover-worthy plays. I would have said probably 12-1, maybe 12-2. He's been great. He's going to break the passing yards record against New England in a couple days. Congratulations. And I think he's still PFF's highest overall quarterback. So for what that's worth, cool. I'm kind of cooling on my Brady for MVP take that I had last week, but you know, he might be in play. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Number 3, Russell Wilson. This is not his fault that he falls a spot. He was fine against Minnesota. It was just a weird game. Seattle plays in these weird games that you know, they're allow an extra touchdown here. Madison goes for 112 yards here. It's like, what's going on? You know, 298 yards, touchdown, no picks, no fumbles. Again, just like Dak, just a fine game. He didn't necessarily ball out, but it wasn't a bad game by any means. Aaron Rodgers is back. He was special. Like, this is quintessential Aaron Rodgers against San Francisco. 37 seconds, no timeouts. Ding, ding, ding. Boom, boom, boom. Packers win. 261 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was trying to force feed Devontae Adams, but the thing is, some force feeding, like say Ben to Najee and Claypool, okay, Ben's not putting in the best spot every single time. Aaron Rodgers is pinpoint, ping, 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 ping. It was beautiful. I think he probably deserved higher than an 81.8 overall grade, 82.8 passing grade. 5 big-time throws, 0 turnover-worthy plays. That is quintessential Aaron Rodgers. Let's have the Mahomes conversation. 3 weeks, Mahomes, I don't think has outplayed his quarterback adversary any of those games. As a passer, he probably outperformed Lamar, but Lamar was so clinical as a runner that I don't think it matters. The stats are good. He's averaging 310 yards a game, 3 touchdowns a game. He's on pace for, 5,100 yards and 50 touchdowns. Congratulations. He has a 111.7 rating. Congratulations. A couple turnovers have been fluky. I will admit that. But the problem with Mahomes right now is that Mahomes knows he's the best quarterback in the NFL, or at least number 2. And he is forcing the issue so much. They had like a no-look pass, like your 4th string tight end, tipped, picked. Okay, cool, great. Why are you doing that? If Mahomes took a second to breathe and played the game more like any other quarterback, Mahomes would be unstoppable. But Mahomes, it's a little bit of the too much hero ball, and sometimes it works, and it usually works. That's the special thing about Mahomes, that the hero ball always works, and he's number 1 for a reason. But if he chills out with the hero ball and he plays more like he did against Buffalo in the AFC title game, you are not getting a better quarter. That is... Him against Buffalo is the best I've ever seen Mahomes, and it's one of the best performances I've ever seen by a quarterback. And he wasn't, doing usual Mahomes things. That's the funniest part, that he was so clinical. He took the issue that he's had the last couple of weeks is that the Chargers and Ravens played him really well. That just keep a lid. Just keep a lid on the top. Just keep a lid on the top. Don't let anything screwy happen. Don't let Hill score an 80-yard touchdown like Cleveland allowed. When you do that, Mahomes needs to adapt, and he hasn't shown me that he can adapt yet. So with that said, there's my 32 quarterback rankings, or my 32 quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks. Nothing to complain about. Again, I have them really two two general tiers. I call it two general tiers. You have 32 to 17 or 32 to 16. They're all equivalent to me, that you can make a case that any guy can go way up high, way down low, whatever it may be. If you think Jameis is too high, that's fine. Do you think Jacoby Brissett should be lower? That's fine. That's fine. I'm down to change that. These are gut instincts. They change every week for a reason.